Good evening and welcome inside the James Cardinal McGuigan High School Gymnasium on this beautiful evening, Tuesday, the 26th of November. It's an OSBA game of the week. This time we are in the Trillium East Division, the visiting Full Circle Academy taking on James Cardinal McGuigan. Both teams have a winning record. James Cardinal with a 4-3 record to start the season. Meanwhile, Full Circle near the top of the division with a 5-1 record as we zero in on our matchup of the evening. Let's start with the visiting Full Circle squad, number 0, Isaiah Coscarella Knight, third team All-Star last season. Sid, what does he bring to the table?
That he's a playmaker, right? And we talked about a lot of the matchups we've seen this year are who is the deciding factor, and a lot of the time it's come down to point guards. In terms of Coscarella Knight, 51 points over 4 games, 21 assists, but also something I wanted to look at too, it's an interesting stat that not a lot of people pay attention to, is his level of possession. So he had 83 possessions under his belt, which how we kind of calculated is how many times the ball is in his hand, which means he's a playmaker. 21 assists is not a small feat. That's him having the ability to really get himself into a strong position. So we already know he has that capability. I'm just interested to see if he's able to start it earlier in this game to really make it impactful.
Those who've been following OSBA basketball can look back to last year in the D-League playoffs and remember that game where Coscarella Knight was facing off against Josiah Aqua, and that's exactly who we're zeroing in on from James Cardinal Aqua, a former Excel hoop baller, 37 points in a loss to Bond, an absolute pure scorer in his own right.
We know, again, it's kind of the telltale. He is the utmost. His best strength is when he's scoring the ball. We know this. He's a playmaker through and through, but the only downside to that is his ability to assist, right? The assist column for him is traditionally always been a bit on the lesser side, but that doesn't diminish his fact that he's able to put points up on the board for his team. Where I think in the battle of point guards, where it's really going to come down to his strength, is if he's able to really allow his teammates to shine around himself as well as he does, right? We already know he can get points, but it's going to come down to the point guard that's able to allow his team to kind of rise with him. So that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing if he's able to do in this game.
It's time now for the starting lineups for Full Circle Academy in the black uniforms. Number 0, Isaiah Coscarella Knight. Joining him, Aiden Siblis, Josh Uzeamo, Caden Laddie, and rounding out the starting 5, number 22, Tavian Henry Brown. On the other side, Xavier Campbell, Ryan Villeneuve, Josiah Aqua, Jerice Grennan, and Dwayne Cummings. 10 minutes on the clock for the opening tip here. Quarter number 1 underway from North York, where the gymnasium has some energy on this beautiful Tuesday evening. The juniors just came off the floor. The gym was packed for that game as well. So JCM showing up for their basketball team.
A bit different than when the people last saw us. We were all the way in Coburg, which it was coined. What was it again, DJ?
Ontario's friendliest town.
Yes. So
no, feel-good town.
Feel-good town. Yes.
But they were friendly too.
It was very feel-good. Not to say it. I think it was just the lack of fans was a bit. We were cheering for the teams ourselves. I should say, but we don't have to do that tonight.
I think of the full cheer squad out here, JCM's as well. So.
I've never seen, unless we're in the States and we magically took a bit of a time traveling jump, a full cheerleading squad for a Canadian high school basketball team. I think is fantastic.
Definitely adds another level of excitement. It is worth noting Full Circle's second loss of the season came last Thursday against Bond Academy, who's just running the table in the Trillium East Division. Clock is set. Officials are ready to go. It will be Dwayne Cummings jumping off against Tavian Henry Brown. Let's get this game going. Academy get the first possession. Quick, right to the hands of Josh Uzeamo. He's got 2 and is on the board. Quick out the gate. JCM looking for a response. Top side 3. Back iron. No good for Villeneuve. Second chance opportunity missed by Aqua. Jump ball called. Possession arrow favoring JCM. So good job on the offensive glass early on here for the guys in white.
something that I want to point out immediately that I'm seeing is how they crashed the board. They didn't just assume that Villeneuve was going to make it. They were there and they were able to draw the foul and give themselves another chance at it.
Perimeter ball movement. Far side. Another three from the hands of Villeneuve off the mark. 0 for 2 to start the game from deep. Here's Coscarella Knight over the timeline. 6 foot class of 2026 guard. Working back to the middle. Siblis traveled.
I need that screen to be a little bit tighter at the top. There was too much space between Coscarella Knight and his man and the person setting the screen, which honestly allowed them to really compress the corner, and evidently it forced the turnover. So next time they need to spread the floor a bit more.
Here's Aqua, picked up by Siblis. Works to his left, finds a lane, elevates. Through contact, nothing called. Rebounds. Falls to the hands of Tavian Henry Brown. Floater from the baseline, no good. Gets his own rebound. Siblis kicks it out top. Coscarella Knight, time and space, bottom. Pressure here by Full Circle Academy. Jerice Grennan kicks it to the corner. Villeneuve's third shot attempt off the near iron, right to the hand of Luzeamo.
Visibly upset from Villeneuve there. Hopefully he's able to shake it off.
Caden Laddie on the near side. That misses. Another rebound for Henry Brown. Right-handed, right down Broadway. Coscarella Knight's got 5 points of his team's 7. In transition, and one, Jerice Grennan.
It's a good attempt on a press for Full Circle. The problem is they're continuously getting beat on the side, and it's because there's no secondary person in the press that's really allowing them to help. So as soon as the person inbounds the ball, all they need is someone streaking in from the middle to kind of break it. So that's a little tweak that I would make for Full Circle to hopefully capitalize on the next possession.
Just over 2 minutes into the game, and Andre Thompson will check in for JCM. Grennan with the opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play. Bottom. Siblis picked up at the full court. Aqua lays it in. 1 rebound and 2 points now for Desire. Here's Coscarella Knight. Far side, Laddie into the corner. Feet set, shot is up. Off the iron, rebound. And JCM pushing the pace. Aqua ahead. Gets it back as they have to reset. Things were out of control. Quick move, baseline. Kick, shot. Thompson going to attack instead. Villeneuve back to Thompson. Top side guarded by Coscarella Knight. Step back, no. Pass to Grennan. That's off iron and into the hands of Caden Laddie. Aiden Siblis now directing traffic. Picked up by Xavier Campbell. Siblis works to the left. That cross-court pass intended for Laddie, but picked up and stolen.
There needs to be a roll off of that
Thompson.
screen.
Coscarella Knight can't corral the pass ahead. JCM ball. 6:28 left in the first quarter, 2-point lead, Academy. And Kenyon St. Louis checks in for the first time, obviously doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Full Circle this year. 2-time back-to-back gold medal champion with Team Ontario at the Canadian National Championships. Tournament MVP this past summer at York University. An absolute treat to watch and a treat to get to know him as a person as well. Shots up, Thompson drills the 3.
We're seeing a bit of a scramble on offense for Full Circle. They haven't really found their groove yet. It seems like they're kind of just passing, rotating the ball a little bit, but I'd love to see them kind of get a bit more set.
Thompson's going to be called for the block. Thompson, a former BioSteel Junior All-Star and D-League champ. 5'10", class of 2026. So a couple more years we get to watch him grow as a player. Coscarella Knight accepts the inbound pass, finds the cutter on the baseline. Easy two for Josh Luzeamo.
Beautiful cut in. Fantastic way to give the option for the help on the paper.
Villeneuve wants it. He's got it at the elbow, looking for Campbell. Campbell at the top. Guarded closely by Laddie right there. Almost a turnover. Last touch by Coscarella Knight.
There was a bit too much attention for McGuigan on the left-hand side because they had 3 open man on the right-hand side. All that you have to do is, at that point, it's just court visibility. You have to be able to be aware and not live and die off the side you're trying to go to.
Laddie right up against Brennan. And he causes a shot clock violation. Sydney, got to be aware of what's on the shot clock when you inbound the ball.
Exactly, and I know we've talked about this before, but it's not just on the responsibility for the players on the floor as much as it is for the players that are sitting on the bench. They have more of a clear field of view, and sometimes when you're so locked in, you can't tell.
Luzeamo. Coscarella Knight on the flare screen, attacks baseline, tries to get some space. Shot is a little soft. It's a power play for JCM, taking it the whole way with little resistance. Josiah Aqua, another 2 points. He's got 4 in the game. Caden Laddie, got to get it over the timeline, but they do not get it over in the 8 seconds allotted. So the first turnover for the academy here.
They needed a secondary person. As much as Caden Laddie has shown a strong presence in dribbling, there still needs to be that secondary option in the event that he isn't able to take it over the timeline.
Campbell stuck near the timeline, guarded by Laddie, gets around him. Double comes, patience on the baseline. That doesn't go, but foul. Going to be called on Laddie. 2 shots upcoming for Xavier Campbell. Scratch that, 2 shots upcoming, Jerice Grennan. The 6'3" class of 2025 forward, doing work on the baseline early. And Grennan makes both. Wolves up by 3, 4:36 left in the opening quarter. Kenyon St. Louis over the timeline. Gives it up to Coscarella Knight, gets it right back. Coscarella Knight drives through the lane and through contact. He'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Xavier Campbell.
It was a fantastic take from Coscarella Knight. Something I'm noticing, though, and maybe he'll pick up on it the next time, is every single time he makes a step towards the middle of the key, everybody just collapses at JCM. They completely collapse and they shut down the zone, which instinctually allows me to think that there's always going to be people open. So what I would do as the point guard in that case is I would continue to drive it, but I would be mindful for the dish pass because we've seen they got a point off of that just a few possessions ago. So I would just be mindful of that for him next time down.
Coscarella Knight, it is worth noting, he was the tournament MVP in the Portugal Basketball Festival in Lisbon for the 19U division. So playing a few years up, wins tournament MVP in a 3-on-3 tournament, an international stage. Now that is definitely an accomplishment in its own right. JCM looking for a response. That shot far off the back by William Turkashian. Second chance opportunity, no good. Here comes Luzeamo. It's Tavian Henry Brown with the put back for 2. No hesitation from the top side 3 from the hands of Mateus Constantinos. That doesn't go. Coscarella Knight in the corner, fakes the shot, drives baseline. The Euro step around, and there's going to be contact on the attempt. Sandy Duan with the foul. Coscarella Knight back to the free throw line. And that's what good scorers do.
Again, we said at the beginning how we don't diminish his ability to get to the net. That's always a given. It's just, I want to see, we haven't seen it as of yet because they've been a bit scrambled on offense. Cascarilla Knight is fantastic in terms of the assist column. We haven't been seeing that a lot tonight. Again, it's very early on. We're still in the first quarter, but I just want to see more flashes of that because that's going to be a longer in terms of the longevity of his game.
Jack Norland checks into the game, number 11 in black. He picks up a foul on the take from Brennan. Brennan has 3 points in the game. But it's Coscarella Knight that leads all scores as Brennan gets the friendly roll. One for two on that trip. Rebound corralled by Luzeamo. Here's St. Louis. Handoff Luzeamo. St. Louis gets back on the far side. Everything settles down for Coscarella Knight. Nice dive. Baseline jumper. St. Louis no good. Rebound. JCM.
Better flash of a rotation, I would say, for Full Academy on that one for sure.
Duan kicks it back top side for Thompson. Far side now. Captain Terkashin cashing in on a three-pointer.
Terkashin is everywhere on the floor. Like, he's one of those quintessential two-way players, and now it's finally falling for him on offense.
St. Louis with the mid-range floater. His first 2 points of the contest. Duan takes the whole way. Tough finish with the right hand. Sandy Duan.
Both teams are picking up speed right now. None are letting off their foot off the gas pedal right now.
No lane for St. Louis, so Coscarella Knight has it top side.
I need to see a roll off of that screen.
Baseline jumper, Luzeamo, no. Rebound, Terkashin.
Good screen from Norland, but give the roll. Give Coscarella Knight the option.
Duan, near side. Doesn't go. Coscarella Knight the rebound. Head up the whole way. St. Louis fakes a shot. Gonna have to bring it back out. Guarded closely by Terkashin. St. Louis now takes it to the middle of the floor. That one's off the rim and into the hands of Terkashin. Happy to slow things down. Pushing the pace to Konstantinos. Elevates. Gonna be an offensive foul. Charge drawn by Darius Lewis.
That's hard. It's one of those positions where you always say you kind of give the tie to the runner in baseball. It's one of those where it was like they kind of both came to the spot at the same time. But in those instances, though, he was so low down into the corner that if I was him next time, I would just rotate it up to the top or take it out myself.
Pressure now by JCM. St. Louis has it in front of his bench. A flurry of movements, and Aqua with the steal. Guarded closely by Aiden Siblis. Gets around the first level of defense. That's going to be a travel. When the hand goes under the ball, Sid, that is considered the gather.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put your hand under the ball and then a step later go two hands on the ball.
And you know what? Good on the coach. I mean, he tried to say it was a gather step. It was almost a gather step. I think he was just a step ahead of himself, to be quite honest. It was very close.
Dwayne Cummings picks up St. Louis full court. St. Louis wants Aqua. Finds Siblis, who finds a lane and gets the lay-in for two. Siblis is on the board now. Cummings downhill from left to right. And that's a pretty basket. Laddie working on Konstantinos. Dumps off. 2 points. Darius Lewis.
Beautiful heads-up play there from Laddie. It's interesting that both of them are kind of guarding each other. Konstantinos and Laddie, they both, as well as myself, grew up in Brooklyn, Ontario's small little town just outside of Whitby. The reason I'm mentioning this is not just to talk about myself, but here we go again. They both actually attended the basketball camp that I used to teach skills at when I was younger. So in and of itself, we're both of us, all three of us actually kind of ended up in the exact same place, just in many different avenues.
I love that.
It's quite fantastic. If I were to say my contribution to their success is about 0.01%,
Hey, that's something.
but you know what? It's still a percentage. Yep.
It's definitely not nothing. 15
Exactly.
seconds left in the quarter. Duan loses the dribble. St. Louis got numbers with him. Kicks it ahead. Laddie, left-hand finish, no. Third chance opportunity doesn't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touched by JCM. So with 2 seconds left in the quarter and a 1-point game, the Academy have the final possession. St. Louis baseline. Fading away. Gets it to go. Jack Norlin on the board. And after 10 minutes of play, the visiting Full Circle Academy team up by 1, led by Isaiah Coscarella Knights 7.
Very close contest in this match so far. There's not really a key thing that I really want to point out that each team is really doing massively incorrectly. And as we see, it's just a 1-point game. I think maybe referencing for Full Circle, we saw it happen a bit later in the first, but their ability to slow down and to actually let the play develop, we saw that they actually kind of adopted that later in the game, and it was working out for them. I just want to see that remain more consistent. They're playing a lot of rushed basketball, and at certain points it can work, and they can have the ability to really push the pace of the game and kind of get the defense off balance. But both teams are evenly matched in terms of speed. They're both able to kind of match each other in that aspect. So allowing themselves to kind of really get into a solid offensive rotation is really going to be beneficial for them, I think. And then JCM, similarly, their defense is solid, but a lot of the help defense has a tendency to completely turn their head and not look at their defender anymore. And we notice every time Coscarella Knight drives into the paint, they all collapse. It's almost like a 5-team collapse.
He has the gravity.
Exactly. And you know what? At first, it's going to work. Maybe the first 3 times it'll work, but eventually when you get a point guard that has a strong court visibility, they're going to understand that the second that you step into that key and you all collapse, they have multiple dish points. So that's another thing I would tweak for JCM on defense is, yes, have help side, but don't live and die by it that you completely forget about the person you're defending.
Both teams taking care of the ball exceptionally well in the opening frame. Just 1 turnover for each side. As we get set for second quarter action, and we get our first look at number 25 in red, Ratan Mangat, the 6'5" class of 2025 is in for JCM. St. Louis picked up by Cummings. Gives it up to Laddie, gets it right back. Now Duan facing up St. Louis. And dribbles off of his own shoe and out of bounds. And as we talk about turnovers.
It's all right. You know what? They're just getting it out of their system.
Numbers now for JCM and another turnover. It's the broadcaster jinx. It's got to be. Not just for free throws.
It's like, I was going to say, it's like at the unspoken rule of free throws. As soon as you say it's going to go in, it always misses. It's like they heard us.
Aiden Siblis takes it down baseline. Thanks for joining us on OSBA TV on YouTube for this Tuesday night game of the week in the Trillium Men's East Division. JJ Evison, Sydney Holmes on the call. Aiden Siblis from the free throw line, back iron and through.
I'm noticing a strong presence in the mid-range game for Full Circle. Not something that you really see a lot of high school athletes kind of adopt. It's a lot of them, it's either the driving kick or the three-pointer, but it's nice to see them kind of be relaxed in the mid-range game.
Ball finds its way to the top side, back iron off the hands of Cummings, right into the hands of Siblis. Kicking ahead, Jack Norland back to Siblis. Into the lane, kicks out. St. Louis got time and space. That one rims away. Rebound snatched by Lewis, who puts it back up and through. It's a burst of speed by Aqua. He hits the ground hard. Last touch by the academy, but
coach is trying to relay that he didn't touch it. You know what I will say? Just like in every situation, the ref had a better vantage point than we all did. So, got to go with the ref on this one.
Head coach Kevin Jeffers of Full Circle Academy was one of the assistant coaches for Yusri Salia and the 15U Ontario team that won gold back in August. That pass swallowed up by Norland. Here's Coscarella Knight over the timeline, picked up by Thompson. Now switched onto by Mangat. There's a mismatch down low, and they're trying to get it to Laddie. They go over the top, but the double comes just in time. Steal for Cummings. Left for Aqua. Another 2 points.
There was a miscommunication at the start of that offensive rotation for Full Circle. Coscarella Knight standing up here waiting for the play to start. He's calling Laddie over to set the screen, but Laddie's like, "You didn't say a play. Like, I don't know what to do." But, and in his defense, I guess, as a point guard, you got to be screaming. Even for when you're starting to bring the ball up the floor, what play you want to run, you can't call it as you cross the timeline because it's already too late at that point.
Coscarella Knight has a lane. Takes it the whole way, right-handed scoop score and finish. 9 points in the opening half for Isaiah Coscarella Knight. Aqua with the response, and just like we predicted, a battle of the 2 scoring guards, at least here in the opening half. Norland from 3, back iron. Rebound snatched by Xavier Campbell. Campbell tripped up. Play goes on. Ball given right back. Aqua comes away with the steal. It's a 4-on-2. Aqua pulls up from just inside, dumps it off to Dwayne Cummings for the easy 2. Three minutes played here in the second quarter. It's a 1-point lead for the visiting Academy. Coscarella Knight with a deep 3. That one front iron into the hands of Mangat. Here's Cummings now looking ahead. Aqua accepts the pass on a 360 lay-in.
Beautiful bit. Like, that was a spin move grab.
And the first into double-digit scoring, Josiah Aqua. Laddie dials it from deep. Flush. Thompson takes his time getting it over the timeline. Working around Laddie. Laddie not getting set defensively, so block called.
I understand it's a hard position in that sense. What I would do, because the point guard's already moving so slowly, I would kind of have my hand on the hip of the person that, I'm going to word it this way. Coscarella Knight was already at the top guarding the person with the ball, right? Or he was going to guard the secondary person. What I would do is I would have my hand on the hip of my own teammate, and I would push them to the way I want them to go. That way I can allow myself to kind of be already a step ahead, and I can just tell my teammate, hey, I got him, or I can, and I'm too slow, right? It just put yourself in a better position.
Grennan working on St. Louis. St. Louis gets the better of that matchup as Grennan throws it out of bounds. Coscarella Knight fires it to the corner. Bottom 3. And E.J. Alley Smith on the board, the 5'10 guard, class of 2028. This Full Circle squad has 2 players in the class of 2028 playing up a couple of years and actually contributing. Wow. What an amazing thing to have.
I know we kind of mentioned this more so during the fall showcase when we were kind of getting a full understanding of all rosters and all the new additions to the team this year, but there are quite a few players in the league in general, and there's 2 on each team respectively that transferred teams, and we're noticing a lot of movement in the OSBA, and it's one of those leagues where a lot of these kids have the privilege and the opportunity where if they're not really finding like kind of a rhythm with the current team that they're on, they're able to move. It's like the recent
it's like a transfer portal.
I was just about to say, in the NCAA with the introduction of the transfer
without
portal.
Without the NIL.
Exactly. Unfortunately. But it gives players the incentive of that you don't have the ability to kind of feel stuck, right? And I know now we're going to reference a few years ago, but in the NCAA, before it was like if you pick a team, you're kind of living and dying by the team you're on for the next 4 years. it's nice to know that even at the high school level, they're kind of adopting NCAA rules. So even so, players can kind of get set into that mindset before they go on to the next level. Did he just duped two players? He almost tricked me. I thought he was coming towards us on the sideline here.
Andre Thompson, good with his feet. Gets past the first level of defense, loses the handle. Coscarella Knight, it's a 1-on-5. Coscarella Knight absorbs the contact, doesn't get the shot to go, but back to the free throw line for number 0 in black for a look at 2.
I got 2 notes for this one. One, we're going to start with JCM. That was a solid effort from Thompson. The only thing I'll say is that sometimes as a point guard, you can have the tendency to dribble too much. In that instance, it's like as soon as he beat the first defender, I would have stopped, allowed my team time to set up, even myself, because you can kind of move too fast for your own feet to handle. Because he lost the ball, right? And that was unfortunate. And now I'll say again, with Coscarella Knight, I don't want to say he got bailed out on that foul, but eventually it's gonna click in for JCM and they're gonna stop reaching in. And it was 1 against 5. 9 times out of 10, that's not going to fall into his favor. So I would say give yourself the patience, kick it out, and look for another option.
The Academy leads by 5 here with just over 5.5 left in the opening half. Thompson tries to shake his primary defender. Cummings has it at the top, working on Coscarella Knight. And a miscommunication, Jerice Grennan cutting in from the weak side baseline. Cummings thought he was going to stick in the corner. Got to be on the same page.
A lot of miscommunication happening from both sides. I think what we're seeing now, too, is the point guards aren't calling anything until they cross over, and then everyone's like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do. But in that, just go to tried and true basketball. Pass, cut, fill.
Coscarella Knight over the timeline, into the paint. Nice Euro step, leaves it short. Here comes Thompson now. He gives it up to Captain Terkashian, and that's swallowed up by Kenyon St. Louis. And Isaiah Coscarella Knight has all day to lay that one in.
He got that one back. I've never been a fan of the underhanded layup, but he got it back, though.
Good patience and a great block at the top from Jaden Museamo.
Beautiful patience.
Stayed down on that fake by Aqua. Able to get his hand on the ball, all ball. Possession arrow favors the Wolves, well, the JCM Wolves. Sandy Duan accepts the inbound pass. They're going to bring it back to the three-point line. It's Campbell into the lane. Up and through with the left-handed finish. St. Louis, top side. Coscarella Knight on the flare screen to the near side. Has the roller that time that you were asking for, Sid. Unfortunately, the basket is left short. Tavian Henry Brown will head to the free throw line for 2.
That was exactly what I was saying that they were missing in the first quarter, was just having the option of a roll. Fantastic execution there from Henry Brown. Another thing I'll add, and I'll continue to say it until it happens, good roll, and that was a beautiful take. He had a fantastic option there, but there was 2 JCM defenders, or 2 bigs that were trapped low on the block. That means that there's 2 offensive players on his own team that if they allow themselves to kind of fill into the low corner, he has that extra kick-out pass if necessary. But that was a beautiful shot and beautiful first free throw there for Henry Brown.
Henry Brown, 1 for 2 on the trip, 3 points, 2 boards in the game. Full circle lead by 6. The cut and the pass not easily handled by Terkashian. Kenyon St. Louis leaves that one short. Coming back for the steal, reaching in, and he will be called for the foul on Jerice Grennan.
In a situation like that, I can understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to poke the ball free. What I would do instead is I would continue to run with him, but I would call up one of my teammates to stop him. Exactly, right? It's either to stop him to kind of allow him to force himself to travel, or it allows him to stop the ball to set it up on offense, right?
Konstantinos working baseline. The pass disrupted there by Jaden Luzeamo. Couldn't keep it in. Take some time off the shot clock. 4:08 left in the half. 12 seconds on the shot clock for this possession for JCM. Percassion gets it into Konstantinos. Ball's moving around the perimeter, swallowed up by Coscarella Knight, who has the lane again, left-handed. 14 points. Isaiah Coscarella Knight, worth the price of admission. Which, by the way, is $5 for people who don't go here.
Mm-hmm. Again, Henry Brown got that foul, if I'm not mistaken. The only issue that he had on that play, he had the time and space. He just stopped moving his feet and his body leaned, right? He would have had the option to kind of be there on defense if he allowed himself to just remain active. I think that's honestly falling back onto like basketball fundamentals. Sometimes it's like you can get so instinctive, oh, the person's running at me, I'm going to stand here and kind of play defense, but you have to remain active. You have to be on your toes so that way you can follow the person on defense.
Some of the best defenders in this league actually dictate where they want their assignment to go. I'm pushing them left, I'm pushing them right. I know where the double's going to, the help's coming from.
Yeah.
And that is part of the intellectual side of the game and not allowing your assignment to dictate to you what to do.
1,000%. And that was honestly my favorite part about basketball is defense, because not many people truly understand the impact that it can make by the angle that you position your body, how you position your feet. You dictate where the person on offense is going. Now, there's different variables on how fast the person on offense is and what have you, but you dictate where they go. If you cut off the lane, you're limiting the availability they have onto the floor. So defense is truly key.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the opening half. It's an 8-point game. Another turnover on the inbound pass. Going up to throw it down was Tavian Henry Brown. Instead, he goes to the line for 2 on the foul by JCM.
He wanted that dunk so bad. Like, almost had it. It was close. I'm not laughing because he missed. I need to make this clear. I'm laughing because I hope everyone can hear the cheerleaders that we have in this gym right now. And this just brings me back to my basketball days. I was such a problem starter that if that was me on that foul line and I make a shot after they're heckling at me, I would run by them with a little it's like little thing rocking back on defense. And again, is it nice? No, but it kind of just gets you mentally back into the game.
2 inbound passes, 2 turnovers for JCM. Full Circle Basketball Academy now with it on the baseline as we see Andre Thompson check back in for William Terkashian. Kenyon St. Louis gives it up to Coscarella Knight here near the timeline on the near side. Behind the back, into the lane, Euro stepping through, gets the tough finish, and 1.
I don't want to play devil's advocate because that was a fantastic take to the net, and I don't want to take anything away from him. It's going to happen. I'm just going to play devil's advocate in the terms of the health of his body, being able to do that consistently game in and game out. We've seen him on the floor, 6 times now? I don't want to see him get injured because of a fantastic take he goes to the net. If you happen to do that, make the extra pass, right?
The best ability is availability.
Exactly right, JJ.
Aqua hands it off to Konstantinos. Konstantinos trying to fight through 2, blocked at the top by Jaden Luzeamo. Here's Kenyon St. Louis traipsing up the middle of the court. Nice dish pass. Good finish. Henry Brown. Good positioning by Coscarella Knight puts Sandy Duan in a tough spot. And this second quarter is coming to a close with a few JCM turnovers after we highlighted that first quarter, just 1.
And I know you've mentioned this kind of earlier on in the season as well. All it takes is the presence of a defender being there to really shake the person on offense. You don't even have to necessarily do much. As long as the defender can see you in their peripheral, that's all they need to kind of give them the nudge to make a mistake.
It's a 14-point lead. St. Louis down on the block to Coscarella Knight. Into the corner. Josh Luzeamo sends that one long. Thompson dances down the middle of the court. Finds a teammate. Blocked at the top by Luzeamo. So you can't get it done on offense. Well, you get back on defense and you make a play.
That was twice now where we've seen fantastic patience coming from Full Circle Academy. It's not something that a lot of players possess because usually you go off of the initial jump, but...
Aqua couldn't save it from the backcourt. Coscarella Knight again, step into his right, finger roll. And he's got 19, and we're not even done the opening half.
I was going to say that he didn't have enough oomph to kind of make it to the net, but he soared to that one.
Don't tell him that.
No, he soared.
Running into his own player was Andre Thompson. Jump ball, possession arrow favors Full Circle Basketball Academy.
We're seeing a bit of a shift. Full Circle's becoming more calm in their position on offense and on defense. The biggest thing before was on defense. They were kind of reacting to what JCM was showing them. Now they're forcing JCM into some conflict, and they're forcing them to make mistakes.
We got our first look at Eurogene Akiri, number 34 in black. And Dylan Shison, number 18 in white. Aiden Siblis has it topside. 9 seconds on the shot clock. He decides to pull it. Front iron, rebound by Shison. Brennan can't keep it. Coscarella Knight has an easy two. More pressure here. This time, too much pressure. Josh Luzeamo with a push in the back.
He was a step behind on that one.
Both teams one foul away from the bonus with 1:37 left. 18-point lead. This second quarter has been all Full Circle Basketball Academy, and JCM just haven't had the response. Turnovers have to be topic number one of discussion in that locker room at the half. As Andre Thompson is over this timeline, picked up by Coscarella Knight. Thompson through the first level, kicks it back out. Aqua with the three. That's long. Coscarella Knight sees a streaking St. Louis. St. Louis, one to beat. That one rims around, and the rim has not been a friend to Kenyon St. Louis in this game. Full Circle have possession baseline.
If you subtract the points that Full Circle has gotten off of turnovers and I want to say half-court turnovers because that's been kind of the main one right now, this game would be significantly closer than it is right now.
Coscarella Knight got left wide open and gets the finish. 23 opening half points for Coscarella Knight to go with a board and an assist. It's a 20-point game as Aqua runs into Akiri. Akiri not set, so he takes the foul, and that will send Aqua to the line, if I'm not mistaken.
I can understand JCM looking at the score right now and thinking that they're completely out of it, but they're not, right? Like, 20 points, as quickly as Full Circle are 20 points ahead, you can easily kind of chip away at that, and all it is just deleting the turnovers. That's the first thing they need to do, and just having a stronger presence on defense. Also, in the same breath, their offense has kind of fallen to the wayside because they're stressed now with a 20-point deficit. They're forcing the ball a lot more than they did in the first quarter.
There's no 20-point play in basketball. Like you said, you just got to chip away at it.
Exactly.
Aqua goes 1 for 2 from the line on that trip. Here comes St. Louis now. Switching sides, changing pace, kicks it back to Coscarella Knight right in front of the Full Circle bench. Coscarella Knight falls down. Akiri using his body to find space. Left-handed, high glass, no. Rebound, Grennan. Coscarella Knight got his hand in there, knocked it loose, but then out of bounds. 32 seconds left in the half. Lots of time on the shot clock here for JCM to get a good look. It's all about execution. Dylan Wallace. Back to the top. It's Campbell. Far side, Aqua. Between legs into the lane. Akiri did enough to alter the shot. Full circle basketball, ball on the baseline. 19 seconds left in the second quarter. A lot of pressure here from JCM on the inbound pass. Can Coscarella Knight end the quarter, adding to his 23 points for the Academy. 5 seconds left. Finds the roller, one bounce. Floater is good. Donahue Daniels Grant off the bench and on the board. At the half, it's 52-31. The Academy lead. We'll be back with second half action here from James Cardinal McGuigan after a short break. Welcome back inside the James Cardinal McGuigan Gymnasium here in North New York. JJ Evison back here with you alongside Sydney Holmes. 52-31 the score after 20 minutes, and it's been all Isaiah Coscarella night.
He has been the quintessential playmaker of the game, and we saw point in case. It was a beautiful dish off pass that he had to kind of finish the quarter there, or finish the half, I should say, actually. Daniels Grant, beautiful composure. Coscarella Knight, fantastic, because anybody in the right mind would have thought he's going to take the shot, but that's a true point guard to really dish it off and to allow his teammate to kind of get the better vantage point. We saw, though, at the beginning of the game for Full Circle, they were rushing the ball a lot. They didn't allow themselves to really kind of fall into their true offensive ability. And they did that, and we can see it translated perfectly into the score sheet right now. They're currently up 52-31. Something that I want to say for JCM is they just need to go a possession at a time, because where their mistakes came from and where they allowed Full Circle to get the lead was on their mistakes that they were making on offense and the turnover mistakes that they were making. So if they can capitalize on that and kind of diminish it, I think they can easily come back into this game.
10 minutes on the clock, third quarter underway. JCM have first possession. It's Andre Thompson. Working to his left. Aqua takes it now top side, guarded closely by Siblis. Double team comes. The pass to the corner swallowed up and turned right back over by Luzeamo. That's Josh Luzeamo. Josh and Jaden here both playing Full Circle. The dish pass off the foot of Laddie. And going for the swipe, but Aqua picks up the foul in the first 30 seconds of the third quarter. Denying the ball, but they get it into Coscarella Knight over the timeline. He wants the screen. It's Henry Brown coming up top side. Coscarella Knight again 1-2 step in. Wasn't sure what to do with it. Changed decision midair. Fights for the rebound. Gives it up. Caden Laddie. Bottom. His second three of the match. Brings him to 6 points, so along with one board.
He's slowly kind of coming into his own. We know him to be a shooter. We know him to be a playmaker, and now he's kind of just getting more into the rhythm of it.
Aqua gives it up to Shisan. Shisan hits the mid-range jumper.
Is it just me? I didn't think he was going to shoot the ball. His body was completely turned to the other team's bench, and it was like almost like a Lonzo Ball kind of shot where he goes across his body.
Speaking of Lonzo Ball, he's supposed to make his return, I think, tonight. If I read that right. Coscarella Knight misses the left-handed lay-in.
After missing 2 consistent seasons due to an injury, and then he got another injury again. I believe he tweaked his ankle or his wrist he kind of tweaked, but he was supposed to make his return today.
It's 4 straight points for the big man, Dylan Shisan.
I mean, talk about resilience with Lonzo Ball. Like, any player would have let that get to their head, but he has remained consistent, and he's been able to come back after injury.
Coscarella Knight behind the back into the corner. That shot long. JCM ready to push the pace. Grennan gives it up to Thompson. Primary ball handler for the Wolves. Now gives it up to Aqua. To the hot hand and Shisan. Keeping. Tries to step into the lane. Stolen by Henry Brown. Josh Luzeamo, Caden Laddie in the corner, no. Going up the ladder for it was Grennan. Now it's Aqua. Behind the back, gets past Laddie. Euro step, left hand, too strong. Right hand tap in, no good. Coscarella Knight with the rebound. Ball works around the perimeter. And Siblis gets it back to Coscarella Knight, shooting 33%.
5 seconds left in the shot clock. 4, 3.
The first shot clock violation forced by JCM, and it couldn't come at a better time. They're starting to dig in to this lead held by Full Circle Academy.
That was an interesting play that Full Circle did, because yes, they kind of rotated the ball, but no one was ever open for that long. And it kind of ended with Coscarella Knight just really having the ball at the top and kind of dribbling it out. So it might just be that they didn't cut hard enough or the screens weren't set properly. So maybe, hopefully, they can tweak that the next time down.
Thompson waves off Terkashin. Now he wants a screen on the other side. Terkashin, Coscarella Knight goes for the steal. Patience, good cut. The pass too hot to handle. Here come Full Circle Basketball Academy. And you want to lead your teammate. And Tavian Henry Brown just couldn't reach that one.
I also think, too, he was looking so hard at Coscarella Knight that he kind of tripped his own teammate out. I don't think he expected to get the ball.
Well, we talked about this before. It doesn't matter. When you have passers as good as Luzeamo, you have to expect it even when you're not expecting it.
Absolutely. We noticed that last game of the week with Colton Crowdis. He's one of those key players that does the no-look pass phenomenally, and you have to just understand that he's not going to always look at you to give you the ball.
There's Luzeamo right down Broadway. Swallowed up, and he travels. Good defense there by Xavier Campbell. So nearly 4 minutes played in the third quarter, 55-36. Full Circle Basketball Academy lead. Looking to improve to 6-1 on the season under head coach Kevin Jeffers. Here's Josiah up top, and a tip-in for Grennan.
It works. It's almost like a tip-in pass to himself, pretty much.
The shiftiness of Coscarella Knight is tough to defend. He's throwing multiple bodies at him. Luzeamo kicks it back up. Caden Laddie off the near iron. Rebound. Aqua. Thompson. Aqua in the middle. No one there. Easy lay-in. He's got 13 points, 3 boards, and a couple of apples in this game. And Full Circle want to take a timeout, talk it over.
I mean, and just like that, the game is 15-point deficit, so we're slowly chipping back. 15 points is manageable. It's a very easy achievement to kind of gain. I know before the game, we were kind of looking at a lot of the stats. One of them that really stood out for me, a lot of it for Aqua specifically, we were looking at the turnover percentage and all that stuff, but for Aqua, his turnover percentage is 5.3, so pretty small, but his field goal percentage is 30.8%. So not as frequent as you would have liked to have seen for someone who's showing a solid playmaking possession here. But then you look over at Full Circle, and one of the key stats that I wanted to point out to everybody is you look at the turnover percentage, and this is something that I really wanted to focus on. Coscarella Knight, as fantastic of a player as he is, we've seen that the turnover mistakes truly come when he doesn't allow himself to be the solid playmaker on the team. The turnover percentage increases. Right now, it's currently sitting at 13% for himself, and then 20.5 when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. So there is a dramatic increase, but that all starts when he's not the true playmaker on the team.
And you talk about Aqua's offense, but right now on the defensive side of things, disrupting Kenny St. Louis and forcing that ball out of bounds off of Full Circle, getting his team another offensive look without allowing the Full Circle Basketball Academy of getting any points. It's Captain Terkashin with a nice right-handed finger roll. More pressure here by JCM. Brennan. Aqua gets his hand in the cookie jar the entire way. It's St. Louis, but the spin off the glass, no good. Aqua, rebound and put back by Thompson. Not a single black jersey hustling back.
Someone else needed to be there with Coscarella Knight. He couldn't do it on his own.
Henry Brown and Coscarella Knight playing give and go. Coscarella Knight, tough bucket through contact. 25 now in the match. Aqua accepts the pass, one bounce. And a good anticipation by Kenyon St. Louis to tie him up.
That's something that's kind of been very consistent for Full Circle Academy is their timing. right? We've seen a lot more in this game and others, their ability to get blocks, have it turn into a jump rather than a foul, and that was a beautiful position for St. Louis. That was a fantastic for him positioning himself, get the ball back on offense, and kind of give yourself another opportunity.
Oh, we just, he hasn't been able to get it going offensively. So how do you get yourself going offensively? You help out on the defensive side of things, and then things start working for you offensively.
This is also another interesting stat that we have is the success rate for teams after timeouts. Now, obviously, we just saw JCM kind of call the timeout. So now we're going to look at their stats for after timeouts. 4 field goals, and again, this is just for one game for themselves so far. So from their last game, after calling a timeouts, 4 field goal attempts, 0 made. So they haven't really been successful immediately after the timeout, which has me thinking that coaches aren't going to call a timeout for no reason. 9 times out of 10, they're going to call a timeout because they see a problem they want to immediately fix. Sometimes that means that when you go out there, you're so focused on not making the mistake that you forget that you still have a basketball game and a rotation to kind of fall back on. So that's what I really want to see them do, is implement that and give themselves the ability to be successful either on offense or defense as soon as that timeout is over.
Kenny St. Louis in the backcourt gets it into Laddie and accepts the pass right back. Turns on the Jets. Kenny St. Louis, the help comes. The dish is there. Foul called a little late. But it is a foul on Darius Lewis heading to the free throw line. Foul's going to go on Andre Thompson. Now full circle, having to shoot right in front of the JCM cheer squad. So they're hearing those cheers a little bit louder. And an 0 for 2 trip from Lewis. Loose ball. Lewis fights for it. Kenyon St. Louis tips it to Laddie, but then it's Aqua pushing the pace. Grennan, 1-2 step. Even though Isaiah Coscarella-Knight was there, Jerice Grennan gets the high floater to go off the top glass.
Like a little high five on the backboard there for Coscarella-Knight.
Left-handed finish. Kenyon St. Louis. "13-point lead, Basketball Academy up ahead. Or was it 20-point lead? Coscarella-Knight, another steal. 3-on-2. And beautiful defense, good anticipation by Aqua to know where Coscarella-Knight was heading and just plant himself there.
That was fantastic positioning. And you could see the coach. The coach got more hype than the players on the floor and the bench combined. But it's because, as a coach, when you give instruction, and he said, he's like, stay there, come up, get position. And he got it, right? He got the charge. So fantastic position, and good on the coach for getting as hype as he did.
Thompson's on the near side, working with Terkashian. Picked up by Laddie. Has to give it up. It's Grennan. Now onto the near side. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Good defense by Full Circle. Shot gets up at the expiration of the shot clock buzzer. Doesn't go. Rebound by Laddie. Aiden Siblis gives it up to St. Louis. Thought about it. Kicks it to the corner. Back up top side, St. Louis from the wing. Back iron, no. And another rebound for Grennan. Here's Terkashian. Shovel pass down low, and that's a travel. Xavier Campbell wasn't expecting the pass, had to put the rock to the deck.
It's also hard when you're that low to put the ball down to really take position. It's like at that point, you either got to go up and hopefully they foul you, or you got to kick it out. You can't be dribbling when you're that low.
Siblis picked up by Cummings. The handoff, Norland. Laddie. Down to Siblis. Cross court, into the corner, St. Louis. Finds some space. Elevates, tries to go off the glass, doesn't go, gets his own rebound, then it's blocked from behind by Rattan Mangat. Turned over, St. Louis, easy bunny.
mean, it was a solid effort, but that's just simply on not protecting the ball.
Thompson finds Campbell. Campbell misses. And Ratan Mangat was pushed from behind by Siblis. The first foul on Full Circle Academy here in the third quarter. 1:49 left. Lead is 15 for the visitors. 3 is good from the hands of Thompson. JCM looking to end this quarter on quite a run and eating into that deficit. Here's Norland from the near side. Bottom. Assist Kenyon St. Louis. Thompson wants the captain. Gives it to him on the far side. Campbell comes up to set the screen. Percassion. Gives it over. Cummings. Baseline floater, no. St. Louis with the rebound. Who's coming? Heads up. Left hand off the glass. And watch out, because if St. Louis gets hot, this game could get out of control. Circassion. St. Louis there to effect a shot. Gets the rebound.
Almost lost it there. Good control there from St. Louis.
Here's Siblis working to the right. Hesitates. That's off the highest part of the backboard. Doesn't go. Rebound Cummings. Thompson right back to Cummings. Thompson wants it back, but St. Louis there to prevent that. Mangat from the corner. He can shoot it. Norland pushes it ahead, but swallowed up by Campbell. Campbell gets it right back into the paint. The handoff. Shot clock didn't reset, but it doesn't matter. They're going to play on. Mangat misses that one. And out comes Siblis from the free throw line. Siblis, no, gets the rebound swatted by Mangat. The quarter comes to an end with a half-court heave. And Andre Thompson drains it to get his team up to down 12 with 10 minutes left in the game.
That was some clean composure on that one. Yeah, I think he's done that once or twice in practice.
So Andre Thompson has 11 points, 2 points behind the leading scorer Josiah Aquan, JCM. But it's 25 points that lead all scorers in the game, Isaiah Cosgrella Knight. And Kenyon St. Louis has 8, a couple of rebounds, and a trio of assists. 54-66 here with 10 minutes left to play on a Tuesday night OSBA game of the week. Trillium Men's East Division. Again, thank you so much for tuning in on OSBA TV on YouTube. JJ Evison, Sydney Ohms here with you. Turnovers got a lot better there in that quarter for JCM, but the Academy a little complacent in a few spots.
I guess one of the main things that I think is still a bit of a crux for JCM is they really only have the ball going through one person, right? Thompson is the key contributor to their success right now. And it's interesting because that's actually kind of against what we saw. I mean, Aqua's kind of back and forth with him as well, but Thompson has really been the tried and true quintessential player for on offense and defense for them tonight. I think a little bit of their hesitation in really kind of taking control of the deficit in this game has been their inability to really correct those little mistakes. And I know you mentioned, JJ, that their turnovers were astronomical in the second quarter there. That was the quintessential reason of why there was such a larger deficit. Both teams are very evenly matched. But when you make those key mistakes and you have a team like Full Circle who can capitalize on that, you're just making the game harder for yourself, because instead of playing consistent basketball to just see who can take the lead, whether it be 2 points, 4 points, whatever, now you're faced with a larger deficit. So their goal in this game is to really kind of take that back before they can ever focus on taking the lead.
When we look back at this game, once the final buzzer has gone, we're either going to say the second quarter turnovers was the turning point in this game, or the fourth quarter comeback is something to look for. Either way, JCM have to figure it out in this final 10 minutes. They've got to put a couple of bodies on Coscarella Knight to slow him down. Also be aware of Kenyon St. Louis getting hot, not to mention Caden Laddie from deep. Aiden Siblis can get downhill. They have a lot of threats, and they just need to pick their poison, so to speak.
Exactly. It's all going to come. I mean, again, that's how basketball works, right? It all kind of comes down to who can really outperform who in the fourth quarter is usually how it works.
JCM get possession here to start the fourth, and it's into Grennan. Grennan working into the paint, kicks it to the corner. Near side, Cummings bringing it back out, down into the corner again. Shot is up, near iron, rebounded by Norland. St. Louis. Slow, methodical, to the left, puts on the brakes, goes right, gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. Xavier Campbell takes the foul, and again, another foul for JCM under 30 seconds into a quarter.
I know we talk about a lot of players, if they go up to a defender and their hands are straight up in the air, their first question to the referee is going to be, that's not a foul, my hands were up. The problem is, it's honestly almost like a cheat code for basketball players. We can talk about that missed free throw after this. It's kind of been a consistent story for everybody all night. When you lean back, naturally the defender's going to want to lean with you. So as soon as they lean, the ref's going to call a foul. It doesn't matter at any point, they're going to call that foul. So I guess now we can kind of talk about the elephant in the room, which has been the missed free throws.
Kenyon St. Louis giving JCM a little bit of hope there, going over 2 from the line. And they're going to say out of bounds. Last touch by St. Louis. Josh Luzayamo getting an earful from the coach.
It's always hard when you have two vocal coaches because you don't know who to listen to first.
Mangat. Cross court to the near side, it's Aqua. Good job by St. Louis to stay in front of him, but then he reaches in as Aqua goes for the shot. So 2 shots upcoming.
That's also another one, too, is St. Louis was there. There wasn't really, I can understand EJ kind of wanting to get himself involved in the play, but in that point, don't do it because you're just going to foul. You're not even in front of the offensive person kind of driving in, so don't give them an excuse to kind of head to the line, but here we go for Aqua, hoping to make the second.
Aqua's up to 15 points in the game. 12-point deficit for the home squad. St. Louis loses possession. Here's Aqua. He's got numbers. Captain Terkashin off the backboard and in for 2. Laddie gives it up to Norland. Laddie's got lots of time and space. St. Louis doesn't see him. St. Louis trying to do it all himself. And that's what happens when he gets in his bag. The and one opportunity for St. Louis.
He's getting a lot more comfortable, too. It's almost interesting. We pointed out the 2 matchups we saw in this game, which was Aqua and Coscarella Knight. And they have respectfully kind of done what we expected them to do. But kind of the sneak attack players was Andre Thompson for JCM and then St. Louis for Full Circle. They have been a solid 1, if not 2 option for their team in this game.
Well, I think for Full Circle Basketball Academy, Coscarella Knight's the 1A, St. Louis the 1B. And again, Kenyon St. Louis, class of 2028, so playing up a couple of years. Here's Laddie attacking baseline. Gets it off the backboard through contact. Timeout JCM. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. 71-56. Full Circle lead. And Kenyon St. Louis is one of those players, too. He kind of plays at his own pace. It's a little bit slower, so when he speeds up, he gets out of rhythm.
Yes.
That leads to turnovers. That leads to missed shots. But when he's in his bag, when he's playing his game, he is awfully tough to stop.
It's just You look at like the body presence of a big, but the quickness of a point guard is kind of how a lot of these guys are playing. But like you said, JJ, sometimes you move so fast that your feet can't catch up, and you can over dribble. It's very, very easy to over dribble. So it's just being able to rely on your tried and true plays and not allow yourself to get in a position where you're just frustrating yourself and losing the ball.
JCM ball on their own baseline. As we await a shot clock reset. Here we go. Terkashin takes, keeps, right hand, too easy. St. Louis picked up by Aqua. Norlin, flush. Aqua picked up by Laddie, gets around him, kicks it out. Terkashin back iron. St. Louis with the rebound, loses it. Kickball called. Last touch or kick by St. Louis.
There was a good intention from St. Louis. The problem is that he shouldn't have put the ball down the second time. He put it down once, grab it, and look up, like scan the floor, because he had options running down the court.
Going to be side out here in front of the broadcast table. Thompson accepts the inbound pass. Finds Campbell on the near wing. Campbell working on Norlin. Baseline cut. Terkashin wanted the jam. Just lost it at the summit.
That was a good pass. Caden Laddie was caught. It was the split second that his back was turned. That's when they kind of abused the pass, but I can tell you now he won't make that mistake again.
JCM bringing in a little bit of size with Dylan Shison. Here he gets it in on the block, working on the smaller Norlin. That's going to be a double dribble. Never seen a coach ask for a tech before.
You know what? Maybe his intention was a bit of reverse psychology, because, hey, he didn't end up getting one.
EJ Allie Smith works over the timeline. Double teamed. Unable to keep it alive was Thompson. And how about this defense from JCM?
They're definitely turned it on. I don't want to say that it came too late, because at any time playing hard, consistent defense is good, but their defense is good, but now their offense kind of needs to follow, because we say defense wins games, and it does, but it wins games when you're already up. You know, you got to score still, if you're, especially when you're at a deficit.
Well, their hands just got a little more full with Coscarella Knight checking back into the game, but Thompson gets a deflection on his first possession, knocks that out of bounds. 10 seconds on the shot clock for full circle. Laddie working on two into the corner. St. Louis back iron. Thompson ahead to Aqua. Aqua off the glass and through. 17 points in the game now for Josiah Aqua. Bounce pass on the baseline. Can't be corralled. And full circle going to reset. Up top, Coscarella Knight. Inviting Terkashin a little bit higher. Step back three. Friendly roll off the rim. 28 points for Coscarella Knight. Aqua picked up by Laddie. Gets the first step. Kicks it to the corner. Thompson, there's two players there. Back up to Aqua. Terkashin? No. Ball hits the stanchion. It's out of bounds. Henry Brown hands it off to Laddie. Rebounded Aqua. Coscarella Knight causing a disruption down low, but gets Aqua on the arm.
Healthy foul.
The lead has been shifting between 20 points, 12 points. It is now up to 17 again. A full circle, 5:35 remaining. Still a ways away from the bonus. JCM just need to see a couple of buckets go through, get a stop or two, and change the momentum of this game.
We've also noticed, too, the legs for JCM must be getting tired because there hasn't been a substitution in a couple of minutes here. I mean, we saw, obviously, the introduction of the big coming in, but besides Shison, like, there hasn't been another addition coming in.
A 3-on-1 results in an empty possession. Laddie out of bounds, and Thompson's on the ground grabbing his leg. Hopefully just a cramp. So he'll have to sub out of the game. There's a short break on the floor. So both teams will retreat to their benches as Andre Thompson gets a little help off the floor. As we look back to the keys of the game and, you know, the matchup that we highlighted, Isaiah Coscarella Knight and Josiah Aqua, definitely as advertised, both players coming up and performing right now. Coscarella Knight, 28 points, a couple of boards, and an assist. Meanwhile, Aqua, 17 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. And both players definitely highlighting the class of 2026 when you look at Ontario talent.
And it's interesting, you mentioned class of 2026. They got another year before their graduation year, so it's still like another development year. And the fact that they're already coming out and they're already dominating, it just shows another level of experience that these players are getting before they go on and transition into the next level. So it's fantastic to see that they're already leaders on their teams, even at such a young age.
.509 left in the fourth quarter. It's a 17-point lead, and in comes Sandy Duan for the injured Andre Thompson. Correction, we will have to wait for the next stoppage in play for Duan to hit the floor. Right now it's Aqua. Brennan gets the step but leaves it short. Rebound swallowed up by Henry Brown. Another burst of speed to put on the brakes, Coscarella Knight. Henry Brown keeps. The pass swallowed up by Campbell and then given right back, Henry Brown. Laddie into the paint, spinning around, doesn't get it to go. Last touch by JCM, full circle, have it on the baseline. And now Duan checks in.
.17 points. 4 minutes and 26 seconds. Still kind of manageable. I just think that if at any point that JC needs to turn it on, it needs to be now. They have no time to walk the ball up. They got to run it.
Coscarella Knight, step back three off the iron. Rebound there. Siblis. Jump ball. Possession favoring JCM. Good defensive effort by Aqua. And again, doing it on both sides of the ball. A real standout early in this season, as we knew he would be.
A very consistent two-way player.
Well, the possession arrow is saying it's white.
They're trying to say 12 on the shot clock as well, just a correction of 2 seconds.
And Full Circle still have possession. Henry Brown accepts the inbound pass, makes a move. The floater's no good, but he'll go to the free throw line for two. Grennan takes the foul. Henry Brown 1 for 2 on the trip. Campbell with the rebound. There's Aqua into the corner. Campbell now top side. Near side, Duan leaves it short. Another chance here for JCM. Captain Terkashin into the paint. Off the gets his own rebound. There's a player down. Got to avoid him. Aqua finds Terkashin. Too much time and space. Nothing but nylon for the captain.
That was a beautiful rotation there from JCM. Way to not get rid of it. Way to not kind of give it up. And they saw it all the way through to the end.
Kenny St. Louis now top side. Met by Campbell. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Hesitation. Tough off the backboard by Kenyon St. Louis. Grennan hands it off to Campbell, far side. Here comes Terkashin, top side three, off the mark. Rebound by Henry Brown. Pushing the pace, dump off, no good. Campbell ahead, Duan gives up to Aqua. Has a couple of teammates trailing. Not too sure who that was intended for. Either way, turnover. 2:38 remaining, 17-point game still.
It's times like that, too, where you can't be nice. If the ball's coming at me, I'm going to grab it. I don't want to assume that there's someone behind me that's going to get it. Grab the ball, go right up, especially when you're that close to the net.
The game's leading scorer, Coscarella Knight with 28, working on the near side, finds the diver through some contact. Unable to finish was Jaden Luzeamo.
I also love when teams, and you can hear the coach from Full Circle kind of telling his team to kind of huddle up. It's almost like adopted pretty much with like volleyball style. It's like almost after every single point, doesn't matter if they get the point or concede the point, they huddle up, touch base, say whatever they need to say in the like 10 seconds, and then they go back. I like it. I think it allows you to kind of settle in. It allows you to kind of readjust. And also, if you make a mistake, it takes you as your teammate to be like, you know, shake it off, we'll get the next one, or here's a little like tweak you can kind of make to capitalize on the next play. I love it, and I think honestly more teams could benefit from doing it.
Another 1 for 2 trip from the free throw line for the Academy.
Their lead could be astronomically higher if they've made the free throws in this game. I've counted a total of minimum 12 missed free throws. At minimum.
Coscarella Knight whip pass to the corner. St. Louis spinning around. Flurry moves. Beautiful vision to find Coscarella Knight in that dunker spot to just lay it in off the glass for another 2 points.
I almost fell out of my chair. I leaned too far back. I almost fell out of my chair. That was a beautiful court visibility play, and here we go!
Henry Brown narrowly misses a monster jam that would have absolutely blew the roof off of the James Cardinal McGuigan Gymnasium.
I'm all over the place. I almost fell out of my chair. I almost broke the table. I'm just kind of all over the place. I'm very much a theatrical person, if you can't tell. I emote with my body, and I just, when there's a good play, I can't help it.
As Shaz Kazmi into the game for the Academy. Number 13 in black, Duan, far side three, too strong. Luzayamo head to St. Louis. St. Louis got one to beat. Absorbs the contact as he goes up shooting. Back to the free throw line.
I'm going to talk about it right now because they haven't made any consistently so far, so I'm not jinxing much. Free throws, you can win and lose off of free throws. They're lucky enough, full circle, that they're in a position that it doesn't matter really if they make these free throws or not, right? It does, because when you come against a team who you're a lot tighter with, we talked about Bond Academy, how they're
8-1,
exactly.
leading the division.
They are the quintessential team right now. If that game comes down to both of these teams equally matched, it's going to come down to free throws. It's going to come down to those minute details, and you can't be missing as many as Full Circle has in this game.
Dwayne Cummings going to the rack, block there by Donahue Daniels Grant, who gives it away. Duan, 1-on-3, kicks it out to nobody. I guess he thought Dwayne Cummings was leaking into the corner. Instead, he's stuck to the wing. 62 seconds left in this Tuesday night game of the week. Trillium Men's East Division. Again, thanks for joining us on OSBA TV on YouTube. JJ Evison, Sydney Holmes, happy to be with you here for this one. Norland working on the near side. Calls up the screen from Kazmi. Kazmi accepts the pass. Now St. Louis has it. Working around the screen. Keeps the dribble low. Gets it off the glass and through. Konstantinos to the corner. Top side Cummings. Near side Duan. That doesn't fall. Fighting for the rebound, but coming away with it was Kazmi. And Norland back to Kazmi. Kazmi's got a runway. Tries to get it to Daniels Grant, and that's deflected out of bounds. Active hands on defense by Cummings. 26 seconds left to 23-point lead. And credit Full Circle Basketball Academy for stepping on the gas after that second quarter and keeping JCM out of this one. The three's up and it's down for Kenyon St. Louis.
Final 15 seconds of this game now.
And JCM electing to just dribble it out. So Full Circle improved to 6-1 in the Trillium East Division. James Carlton McGuigan fall to 4-4, back to 500 where they began the season. Isaiah Coscarella Knight, 30 points. Kenyon St. Louis, 18. And Jack Norland, as well as Caden Laddie, with 8. That about wraps things up here from this Tuesday night broadcast from everybody here at Ontario Scholastic Basketball Association's broadcast team. For Sydney Holmes, I'm JJ Evison. Enjoy your Tuesday evening, folks. We'll catch you on the next game of the week.